Thank you very much to Lloyd Elias for becoming the first member of the Kinetic Rugby League channel. If you would like to support the work that I do, just like Lloyd, I'd appreciate you becoming a member by clicking the join button just below this video and showing your support. Thank you. Hey guys, hope you're well. My name is Rob. Welcome to Kinetic Rugby League. In this video, I'll be giving you my NRL Finals Week 2 predictions. I'll leave a recap of last week up on the screen for you now. As you can see, 2 out of 4. It's not good. It's not good. 50% for the week brings the percentage down a little bit, and it's already low as it is. So Roosters 1 to 12, incorrect with the team, incorrect with the margin. I don't count the margins for losers anyway. Storm 13 plus, correct on both. Cowboys 1 to 12, correct on both. And the Bulldogs 1 to 12, incorrect with the Bulldogs, so therefore incorrect with the margin as well. So yeah, on the season, that's 123 out of 208 for 59.13%. Unfortunately, not a good one. Only 2 games to go through this week, only 2 next week, and then 1 the week after. So yeah, I basically need to get 100% on these remaining games to have any kind of decent percentage on the season to salvage the shit show that's already happened so far. But let me know how you guys got on last week, and I'll crack on with the first game of Finals Week 2. Kicking things off, we have the Sharks taking on the Cowboys, starting with the team list of the Sharks. In the backs, they have William Kennedy, Sione Katoa, Siasifa Talakai, Kale Iro, Ronaldo Mulatalo, Braden Trindle, and Nico Hines. In the forwards is Toby Rudolph, Blake Brayley, Oregon Kafusi, Britton Nakora, Teague Wilton, and Cameron McInnes. On the bench for the Sharks is Daniel Atkinson, Jack Williams, Royce Hunt, and Thomas Hazelton. Taking a look at the team list of the Cowboys, in the backs they have Scott Drinkwater, Cal Felt, Valentine Holmes, Viliami Vailea, Maury Talangi, Tom Dearden, and Jake Clifford. In the forwards is Jordan McLean, Reece Robson, Jason Taumalolo, Helam Lukey, Jeremiah Nanai, and Ruben Cotter. On the bench is Sam McIntyre, Harrison Edwards, Kulikefu Finifeyuaki, and Griffin Neem. So both of these teams I think are quite well matched. In some areas they beat each other on, but they do share a win rate with each other, they share a completion rate with each other, and tackle efficiency is pretty similar as well. It's very, very close. For me right now, the way I'm kind of leaning a little bit towards the Cowboys, just based on their form from last week and a few weeks prior to that. The Sharks, they started to turn things around a little bit towards the back end of the regular season, but a couple of losses in there and some slightly dodgy performances. The Cowboys weren't perfect by any means, but they're on a 4-game win streak right now. And I believe in those 4 games, the Sharks maybe only won 2. I can't fully remember, but the Cowboys are on significantly better form at the moment. And I do think based on the individuals, how they've been playing, the Cowboys are looking a lot stronger right now. We're kind of waiting for this big step up from Nico Hines. Can he be that number 7 or whatever role he's in, whether it's 6 or even 1, like he played in some games for Melbourne Storm a couple of years ago? Can he be the guy? I don't know. I like what the Sharks as a team can do over the course of however many rounds. Was it 24? I can't quite remember. But I like what he can do over the course of a season. I like where he can inject himself. But when it comes to the big games and kind of needing to flip a switch, is he that guy? I don't think so. On the other hand, you've got Tom Dearden and Scott Drinkwater that could both do that. Jake Clifford's been settling in really, really nicely in this number 7 role. Maury Talangi's played a lot of big games, so has Cal Felt. Valentine Holmes is definitely one of those as well. And then you look at Taumalolo, Cotter, important players in the forwards. I like the second row battle that's going on here with Helam Lukey and Nanai against Teague Wilton and Britton Nakora. I think they could get very interesting in terms of line breaks or defensive quality. I think it could be won and lost in those areas, and I think when they use Britton Nakora extremely effectively on that right-hand side, the Sharks look great overall and can really dominate. Jesse Ramian is normally pretty good working off the back of that, but they've got Siasifa Talakai on that right-hand side right now. I do think that Trindle can take on the kicking game if need be, to allow Nico Hines just to focus purely on the run game if they wanted to do that. But I think the Sharks, if they want to get one up in this game, they need to be on it. Like, when they've played at their best this season, it looks pretty good. When they play with the flat attacking style or with some depth, they can mix it up a bit and they can look quite good. It's just We only saw it very early on in the season, and they took a huge step back as the season started going on. The Cowboys were the opposite, slow start, and started to turn things around and look a little bit more effective. There was a slight dip in the middle of the season, but I just think they fixed some of their attacking issues that they had in some weeks. They looked incredibly strong. Defensively, I'm not entirely convinced yet. But I just think right now, based on individuals, based on form, the Cowboys are the stronger team right now. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys to win 1 to 12 points. Finally, we have the Roosters taking on the Seagulls. Starting with the team list of the Roosters. In the backs, they have James Tedesco, Daniel Tupou, Joseph Suwali, Joey Manu, Dominic Young, Luke Keary and Sandon Smith. In the forwards is Jared Warrior-Hargreaves, Connor Watson, Lindsay Collins, Angus Crichton, Satili Tupanua and Naufahu White. On the bench is Siwa Wong, Spencer Leniu, Nat Butcher and Terrell May. Onto the team list of the Seagulls. In the backs they have Tom Trbojevic, Tommy Talau, Tolu Kula, Ruben Garrick, Leahy Hopewati, Luke Brooks and Dali Cherry Evans. In the forwards is Taniela Paseka, Lachlan Croker, Matt Lodge, Hamola Olakwatu, Carl Lawton and Jake Trbojevic. On the bench is Ben Trbojevic, Josh Alea, Ethan Bullymore and Nathan Brown. So both of these teams could not have had differing performances from each other last week. The Seagulls, they went down a couple times but brought it back in a crowd of 50,000, a lot of pressure on their shoulders, most of the support towards the Bulldogs, just professional, clean. Some of the key players that we've expected to have big moments, Dali Cherry Evans, Luke Brooks, Tom Trbojevic, Tolu Kula, having really big moments in that game to get them the win. In contrast to the Roosters, who just had an absolute stinker against the Panthers. Granted, the Panthers did a lot of really good stuff very early on in the game, and the Roosters could not get into it. But the Roosters certainly did not help themselves at all with some of the stuff that they were doing. They couldn't find a foothold through the middle. They couldn't get the quick play of the balls. The Panthers were beating them in that area. And they didn't really have too many shots. Early in the tackle count, deep in their own half, I don't think they really tried to have enough attempts from set plays, which is a little bit disappointing for me. But I do think, given the fact that I think the Roosters are still a strong team, I don't think, for one, they'll have as much of a stinker this week, and two, we'll have learned a lot off the back of a very, very, very strong Panthers team who will have taught them a lot. So Sandon Smith will learn a great deal from that game. Connor Watson will learn a great deal from that game, and as a team, they will learn what they need to do to get that step up. The Seagulls, they've got the attacking quality. They can take the fight to the Roosters, and we've seen that defensively they can have some issues. I thought that they might be okay because they could score enough points against the Panthers, but with the Panthers now setting the blueprint for everybody against the Roosters, especially for the Seagulls to use, are they going to match exactly what the Panthers did? I don't think they're capable of that. But I certainly think, given the fact that the Seagulls can put up a ton of points, they're certainly going to make it competitive. But I do think that the Roosters, given the overall strength of this team, the fact that they'll really want to right a lot of wrongs, because as the game went on, they started improving. They brought on Spencer Leniu, they brought on Siwa Wong. They were much better through the middle. They started to gradually get back into the game before it, was taken away from them late on. I do think maybe this is a step too far for the Seagulls. I think it is possible for them to get the win, but I think overall the Roosters are just strong enough right now. They will have learnt a lot from last week. I just think there's enough in this team. Maybe I'm kind of holding on a bit too much, but we'll have to see. We will have to see. This is the last chance for both these teams, and the Roosters, they cannot afford to start slow again, and I don't think they would allow that to happen. So I'm going to go with the Roosters to win 1 to 12 points. So to recap my predictions for this round, I'm going to take the Cowboys to win 1 to 12 and the Roosters to win 1 to 12. In terms of winners' confidence, I'm at 70%. Slightly more confident with the Cowboys beating the Sharks, but obviously I do think that the Sharks could have a say in that game. And the Roosters against the Seagulls, maybe some might be thinking too much about the the actual results that the Roosters were dominated, but the Seagulls were competitive, and they might be sort of conflating that a little bit too much and not considering that the Roosters are still clearly a stronger team. I don't know, but I'm at about 70% for winners' confidence. Margin confidence, 90%. I don't really see either of these games going 13 plus. If they were to, it would literally just be the 13s or 14s to 16s sort of range. Only slightly into that, but nothing dominant from either team, I don't think. But yeah, that's going to be it. And that's my recap for this round. So once again, if you would like to become a member of the Kinetic Rugby League channel and support me and the work that I do with these videos, it'd be greatly appreciated just by clicking the join button below this video and joining people like Lloyd Elias in the support of Kinetic Rugby League. But that is going to be it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.